This is going to sound like so much hate, and I swear it's not.
Kyle has presented some either ors in a podcast that will never see the light of day, unfortunately.
But sure, I mean, we could bring him back. We could bring him back.
We could. At some point, we will, Kyle. I have some kind of either or, which is better kind of scenarios, and one of them happens to be one of the players that we mentioned that we both love, and it's Larry Bird. And which one's a better passer? Who is a better passer, Larry Bird or Nikola Jokic?
I got to say Bird. Off the top, Bird. Jokic is incredible. I'm assuming what sparked this was Jokic's pass the other night to Aaron Gordon on the baseline, which was insane.
Yeah, so like I was just thinking about some stuff, and I was like, Larry Bird is such an underrated passer, especially because his assist numbers are not like high, but he played within the flow of the offense. Like Dennis Johnson was the true point guard, brought the ball up, but like you could clearly run an offense through Larry. He could be a number one. I mean, be the one on a team.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he was essentially
interested.
He was essentially their point forward. He is. I mean, Bird's on the short list for me as passers. That's why he is one of my favorite players, because he's just sees the game differently. Like truly sees the game differently. He is a genius.
I would go Bird too.
4 steps ahead.
And
here's my thing though. The game's obviously like with Bird in the 80s, really anything pre-2010s, the game's more cut, right? So Bird's more about a timing, whereas Jokic, people do cut more for Jokic because they know if they're getting the ball, but in general, he's finding shooters more. So he's a lot like LeBron.
Bird played today, he probably would be putting up close to Jokic numbers.
Sure, sure, yeah. No, honest to God.
It would be 31, 10, and 8 would be him on a given night. I mean, because he was 28, 10, and like 4 for the prime of his career. So he'd be getting like 31, 10, and 8.
So I think Bird threw tougher passes, like thread the needle type passes more than Jokic. I think Jokic is finding guys wide open more. But honestly, like if you put Jokic in the 80s, it's probably not that far off. He can probably do a lot of what Bird does, but Bird made some ridiculously like stupid passes. I don't care what era you're playing in. There's stuff where you're like, how do you even think of that? Why did you even think of that? So yeah,
there was one player that made the passes that he could, and it was the guy in LA.
Yeah, honestly, Keenan,
like Isaiah was a great passer, Stockton was a great passer, but they didn't have the imagination level of Larry.
Same with Pistol Pete.
Pistol
Pete threw some ridiculous stuff too. So I mean, honestly, I would put Bird right next to Magic as far as a passer. So no, it's got to be Bird for me. That's a great question. But but Jokic also on the short list too. Jokic is somewhere in the top 10 or 12. Again, I'd have to write them all down and think about it all. But Jokic is up there too. Jason Kidd too. Jason Kidd is
underrated. Another guy who's kind of getting not lost in history, but forgotten a little bit forgotten in history with how amazing him and Steve Nash too. Steve Nash was another one. It's like, oh golly, you can do whatever you want.
New LeBron co-host Steve Nash.
Yes, shout out to that. So we got peak scorer. Just doesn't have to be he was a better peak scorer. Kyrie Irving or Allen Iverson?
Night to night, Iverson. As far as having a bag, Kyrie, because I mean Kyrie's got all the counters in the world. Kyrie's got counters to his own counters. I heard Iman Shumpert, because he played with the Cavs. I heard him tell a story once talking about how like he's never faced a player who is waiting for the defense to react to like decide what move he's gonna do. Like he said, Kyrie's completely react to the defense, whereas most offensive players are like not necessarily thinking about what they're gonna do, but they're they got their go-to moves that they're gonna look for. Whereas Kyrie's completely reacting to what the defense is gonna do. I thought that was really interesting. Night to night, it's hard to say it's not AI. I think Kyrie Celtics on is like 25 a night. I'm sure it's dipped here and there given injuries, but I mean, there's years where Iverson averaged 33, and the load was completely on Iverson. So
in an era that was harder to score in, just because of pace of play and things like that. So like, if you look at point totals, like the Warriors tonight dropped 146. You weren't really seeing 146 ever dropped in the early 2000s. So
I would say it's I'll say it's close. I mean, you're not really wrong if you say Kyrie because, again, he does have probably more counters. He can shoot better from three for sure. Mid-range AI is pretty good. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously he's taken the majority of the shots for the Sixers, so his efficiency dips. Yeah, it's close. I'd say night-to-night AI overall. Probably Kyrie.
I agree with that. I think if I had like I need a better score for a season, I'd probably give you AI. But if I was like I need one game, I might give you Kyrie because like I mean not that AI is not able to give you a game. Like I mean to give you 48 in game one against a 2000 Lakers team, which is one of the better teams of all time. Actually, I'm going to bring that up right now because that's a great segue too. Speaking of the 2000 Lakers, one of the best teams of all time. Which team do you think is better? That Lakers team, the 2000 Lakers, or the 1992 Bulls? I picked that Bulls team for a reason.
So 2000 or 2001 Lakers?
So the 2000-2001 Lakers. The ones that went... Oh, wait. No, it been the 99-2000 one. The one that went 15-1 in the playoffs. Shaq was the MVP, All-Star Game MVP, Finals MVP. I think that was the one against the Sixers. Where they only lost to one game.
Yeah, that'd been 2001. That'd been 2001.
Oh, that'd been 2000, 2001.
Because 2001 was the year AI was MVP.
Yeah.
That year, so they went 15-1. Yeah. That's Shaq and Kobe, Jordan Pippen. They won a lot of games in '92.
I want to say they were 62-20 in '92. I'm gonna look at it.
What's a better team? I mean, so I was born in the year 1992, so hard for me to say what those Bulls looked like night to night. I would have been 9 in 2001, but I do actually remember. I remember watching the Lakers. I don't remember intricacies.
Oh no, that Bulls team was. Correct me, sorry. They were 67-15 that year. Because that was it. Because I remember on the Jordan doc, like when they were going through, because they were talking about it. Bill Simmons was mentioning how like he thinks that, and on his podcast, I think he was mentioning too, like how that's one of the most forgotten best teams of the Jordan era. That team right after they won their first chip. So because they went 67-15 and kind of just blew through the competition, then beat the Blazers in the finals.
It's crazy that you get a Jordan team that's got 67 wins, 72 wins, and then they followed up to 72 with 69. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Again, that's the Warrior. That was the only thing we've seen semi-similar was the Warriors. They went 67-15, 73-9. Then with KD went 67-15, like over a 3-year stretch.
They had 2 seasons of 67? Damn.
Yeah.
That's wild.
No, I was going to say, that to me, that's why I think... Obviously, that's like we can have that argument on a different day, but like pound for pound, the 2017 Warriors to me is the best team of all time.
Oh yeah, I mean sure. I mean if you,
but I'm just saying that's fine. I mean they were a 673 team that added Kevin Durant, but like they walked through the regular season at 67-15. They went 16-1 in the playoffs, and they only lost a game because the Cavs got so hot from three that I think they made the most threes ever in a first half. Like they were incredible. They went insane in that game. But like, yeah,
as they should have. Would be
don't. I'm not trying to make it. I'm not trying to make it seem like it was like a shock because the season was over on July 4th of 2016. Like that July 4th ended the season, and obviously the season hadn't started yet. But I was just saying that like
back to those teams though. Mm-hmm. I'd probably take 01. It's hard to take Kobe entering his prime and Shaq dead set in his prime.
I would say the same because I want to say that team was 66-16 maybe.
But I think at the other side of that, Jordan Pippen at their like athletic peaks. I mean, they're gonna give problems to anybody too. So I would lean
7-game series.
7-game series, but I'm giving the edge to Shaq, because I mean you ain't got Rodman to bug him there. You ain't got nobody to guard Shaq, and Shaq's gonna probably put up 45 and 23 with a few blocks on you. So yeah, Shaq.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have Bill Cartwright and Will Purdue in checking him. So
that being said,
in a little bit, and you're gonna see Horace
Grant. You get Shaq in foul trouble at all, you at least got Pippen and Jordan to give Kobe problems, right? So then it turns into a different game. But
yeah, for sure.
As long as Shaq's on the floor. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, no, I'd lean that Lakers team. And the 99-2000 Lakers, they went 67-15 the year after. They went 56-26. But so this is going to be a complete turn from like what we were talking about, but it's interesting. Do you think right now Donovan Mitchell is a Hall of Famer?
Hard to say, but I mean, yeah, he's definitely on the trajectory. Yeah, for sure.
I think he's going to be, but I like obviously there are some players clearly in the league right now. There's plenty of them that would, if they just stopped playing basketball today, they're a Hall of Famer. And Donovan Mitchell, because I was thinking about it for like playoff runs, and obviously you always think of like who would this benefit the most of championships and deep playoff runs and things like that, because obviously going into it, like obviously always the legacy talk, but not like in a way of like, oh, this guy needs to do this to be better than this guy specifically. But I was just thinking if Donovan Mitchell's able to get that team to even the finals and go on like a deep playoff run like that, I think he almost solidifies himself as a Hall of Famer. You know, so that's what I was thinking about that. And if right now, I think I would say no. But I think he is absolutely on the trajectory where at the end of his career, he's probably like he most likely should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to keep him out. You know what I mean? I mean, he's got the All-Star games, he's got the All-NBA, and he's got the playoff success too. I mean, I don't
like this year. There's a chance that he is first team All-NBA, especially with the team success. Even though statistically, it's not like his best season. He's averaging 24, 4, and 5, but like. That Cavs team could get to 63 to 64 wins. You could definitely see him there. For a career, he's averaging under 25, just a tick under, 4 rebounds and close to 5 assists. So
if you talk about the elites of the 2020s, he's on that list, right? And he came in tail end of the 2010s, I think maybe 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 2017-18 was his first year, and he was very good from then. He hasn't averaged under 20 points in a season ever.
Yeah, and he was essentially their best player already that rookie season. And I think I'm assuming he's been an all-star since that second season on, if not, third season. So yeah, if his career were to end today, I think they'd give him the nod, especially given how he was the number one option on all these teams.
Fair. 70 points in a game, that matters.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think for sure Donovan Mitchell would be and will be.
Yeah, I definitely will be. I was just curious. Like right now, I think he's at borderline. I don't think it's first ballot. Depends on your year. But I think that he definitely, after a bit, would get in. And he deserves it. Well deserved, too. Like, and he's obviously got plenty of career left. He's late 20s, early 30s.
I remember hearing...
somewhere around there.
I remember...
28.
He's 29?
He's 28. Born he's turning September 7th. He was born in 96, so he's a year younger than me.
I remember hearing him on a podcast after he was this is probably halfway through his rookie season. And I forget the exact like timeline of the story. I forget if it was like cuz I think he was at Louisville for 2 years. Yeah. 2 or 3, I don't know. And I forget if he was telling this after his first year and he was trying to come out, or if it was after his second year when he did come out. It must have been after his second year because he said he hired an agent, and his agent was the same agent as Chris Paul. Actually, must be Leon Rose, I'm assuming. Might have been Leon, the guy who's like the GM for the Knicks now. And he hired like a workout session for like him, Chris Paul, I think Paul George as well. But this story centers around Chris Paul. He said he played one-on-one with Chris Paul, and he beat him 5-0 without dribbling the ball. He just took it from the elbow and just shot it from different shooting pockets. Like, ridiculous. Like, and Donovan Mitchell at that time, he was touted for like his defense too, coming out of Louisville. Like, people were talking about him and that Tony Allen mold. People didn't really know he had that.
They didn't think. Yeah, I was gonna say the scoring was actually what shocked, which it feels like a lot of the time with like the scorers in the league. Sometimes it's like they're not known for scoring, but then they turn themselves into like elite level scoring. Like thinking Paul George was another guy who was like out of Fresno State. He's talented, long arms, definitely can be a defender in this league. He could develop into a good offensive player and then became an elite scorer in the league. Same thing with Kawhi, obviously Donovan Mitchell.
They were more projects. They were more projects.
Yeah, they're more projects than Donovan. Donovan came out.
And Donovan kind of came in as a project, but like you said, he kind of immediately shocked people with his scoring value. With PG and Kawhi and even Jaylen Brown. They each kind of had similar trajectories where they were just super athletic defensive prospects. And then it eventually just scoring came.
Scoring came to them, and they're now all of them are elite-ish level scorers depending on where you're starting from.
And speaking of Kawhi, man, I'm still feeling great about this. Like the Clippers are just they're scary.
Clippers over they truly are. No, the Clippers are. I mean, when we're going to talk about the Clippers here in about roughly 5-ish minutes, there's one more thing. There's one more that I'm going to discuss with you, and we're going to segue it in. We were talking about Jaylen Brown. He has a pretty good teammate called Jason Tatum. Sure. Who would you rather have, prime KD or Jason Tatum?
Oh, I'm always taking KD.
Taking KD. That's fair. I'm just curious because it's interesting to see how people value Jason Tatum, because I know there's so many varying opinions on Jason Tatum, especially in the national media. But
Tatum's
there's varying opinions on Jason.
People are ridiculous with Jason Tatum. Like Tatum,
I agree.
Tatum's an incredible player, incredible two-way player. He's been doing it since he was 19. And again, people are bored when this whole Jason Tatum is boring topic and the Celtics are boring topic comes up. I've never heard in my life until this year that Jason Tatum's boring. People compare him to Tim Duncan when we don't know shit about Tim Duncan still to this day. To this day, we don't know shit about Tim Duncan. We know more about Jason Tatum his rookie year than we ever did about Tim Duncan. Trust me, no one is as boring. I lived through Tim Duncan. No one's as boring as Tim Duncan as a star, besides John Stockton. No, not at all. Those are the two. And
Nikola Jokic is more boring as a star than Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean,
Jokic. The cool thing about Jokic is he horse rides, and you'll see him on a commercial once in a blue moon, maybe. But
and
Jason Tatum's with LMA, and he's on multiple commercials. You market Jason Tatum. I
get it. Tatum is boring as far as he doesn't have much personality. As far he's just a cool, laid back dude. He's not. He's not even Kawhi, whereas Kawhi has no personality, but he's worked that into personality trait almost. He's so mysterious kind of thing. Tatum, he's just a cool laid back dude. There's been plenty of people like that, but again, the media is just insane. The NBA media.
They need a face of the league, and they want him to be something that he's not.
Yeah,
and people, it's a problem.
And people act like that's what the stupid thing about this face of the league shit is. It's not like anyone ever like when Mike left, it wasn't like people were like, okay, now we got to crown the face of the league. No, you had Shaq there, you had Kobe there. It was essentially who started winning. Duncan won immediately after Jordan left in a lockout year. Then Shaq won. Shaq's got all the personality in the world. So I mean, naturally,
it would
Shaq
be Jokic right now if he had more personality. Essentially, I think that Jokic would have kind of just felt
and you can still be the face of the league without being out there. Ohtani's the face of the MLB right now, and no one, you know what I mean? It's essentially it's going to be who wins at the end of the day, and who is. Of course, popularity goes into that too, but. Yeah, after LeBron and Steph league, who is it going to be? No, it's probably not going to be.
I was about to say they're still in the league, so it's not like it needs to be a conversation as of this moment because until LeBron and Steph both leave, especially because they still are playing at top 10 player level, they're the face of the league. They're going to generate the most ratings. They're going to be the most talked about teams. They're going to be whatever. Then after that, I'm guessing. My guess would be Wemby. I think he's going to get into that. And that's fine.
That's who it's.
That's great.
That's who it is meant to be.
Meant to be,
now.
Honestly.
What's that?
I said who it's meant to be. You said the same thing at me at the same time.
Luka's going to get more shine, and he already would have had plenty of shine in Dallas too. But Lakers are going to take it to another level. It would be Zion. Yep. We've talked about that a million times. It would be Zion if he could, play a full season. That ship is kind of sailed. He'll still be a star. But as far as that goes, I mean, none of them have what Jordan, Kobe, LeBron have as far as all that, or Shaq. None of them are huge stars the way LeBron and Steph are. So, I mean, that's tough for anyone to ask. Wemby, you got someone 7'5" who's got ridiculous game and something we've never seen before. And he's got a good concept of American culture. Yeah, like you just said, it's born
most
to be.
of the time. Most of the time, if you go through history, your faces of the league are going to be players that are so incredibly unique you haven't really seen them, or the only one that's never seen that's not that is Kobe. But Kobe was so close to Jordan, and he had his own like little thing, like the Mamba mentality and other things, so he deserved that too. But like you can go back to Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J, Magic, Bird, Mike, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, like Wemby, like they all have something where they're so uniquely talented that they're amazing.
Yeah.
And like that, and so like that's why I think it's gonna be Wemby, just because he's so uniquely talented and something we've like, what even is this player? Like this really, we always talk about how if you're gonna create a player, it's 2K. In our seasons when we wanted to, we're like, let's create a 7'5" guy who has handle, can shoot, and is such an elite defender he can guard all five. Well, we'll insert Wemby.
That's Wemby.
Like,
That's Wemby.
that's it.
But going back to KD, though, like it's hard to say because you know what, like Tatum's everything you'd want Durant to be in his prime as far as a leader goes. That's the disappointing thing. That's like why I can never ever get over this whole Golden State thing, because it's just like if KD stays with OKC or goes somewhere other than Golden State, he probably just wins one because he's so talented anyway.
Yeah.
You know, KD is just flawless as a scorer. He's a better defender than people remember. Like he's still defending at a good level right now, even with Phoenix. And
he was like secondary anchor on those Warriors teams for a defender. Like he was able, because the scoring load wasn't like the same as what it was in OKC, he was able to elevate that defense. And obviously he became their rim protector, because Draymond's obviously just a free safety out there doing the greatness that he does on defense. But like KD became that rim protector because he's 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan,
and that's it.
He was a very good defender.
You know, you want to talk about, like we talked about last year with Wemby coming in, talking about like him and LeBron being the two best prospects ever. Like which one was the better prospect? Like KD's up there too. That's why KD,
and he didn't go to.
That's why KD
he went to.
You want to talk about faces of the league? Like that's why KD's always been like next after LeBron, and then Steph kind of took his place. But it's always been KD, LeBron, Steph. Like because of that reason, KD's been that guy since Texas, since before Texas. We knew about him in high school. We never seen anyone like that who's, you know, basically Jordan but 6'11", and then like can give you rim protection, like you said. Like, yeah, it's KD. It's KD. But shouts to Tatum too.
I agree.
Tatum's up there.
I wanted to add Tatum into that because I think it's KD as well, but I don't think you can just dismiss Tatum like he's not even like allowed to be in the conversation. And sometimes I feel like people just don't like to have him in the conversation of the elite. So he's
a franchise
top
player,
5 player,
and he's a champion.
He's top 5 player in the game. He's a champion. He possibly could be another champion. I do think he'll win at some point a future MVP. I think he's great enough where I think he could definitely win one. I mean, honestly, if we didn't have Jokic and Giannis in the league with how phenomenal they've been, and Embiid in that season he did, like he could have won an MVP within that stretch. But